A Page of Madness, 1926, a silent Japanese film. This features some great, surreal, and intense imagery. It's absolutely beautifully shot, and even though I had no idea what was going on throughout the movie because there are zero dialogue screens, it's an extremely well-made movie for the 20s. A. M. 1931. Not much of a horror movie, more suspense, which I suppose could be considered an offshoot or subgenre of horror. But anyway, M is a classic murder mystery, as cops and the public chase a child unaliver. Peter Lorre plays our unaliver with like an almost childlike innocence. He does this because he feels like he has to. Seeing the public go after him with vigilante justice, it makes for great cinema, and Fritz Lang both wrote and directed it beautifully. A+. The Night of the Hunter, 1955. A gothic tale of a different kind of horror, a predator of both women and children. The story of a preacher who preys on widows for their money. Robert Meacham plays Harry Powell, with charm mixed with evil. The perfect mixture for a serial unaliver. While there are a few plot holes, like the kid's uncles finding a car with a woman's body inside at the bottom of a lake, and just it never coming up again. The story is filled with plenty of intrigue and keeps you interested and guessing. A. Horror of Dracula, 1958. Christopher Lee's first Dracula role, and he only has 3 minutes of dialogue. He makes his first appearance at around the 7-minute mark, and then once he stops talking around the 10-minute mark, that's it. But his body language and his facial expressions tell you everything. It tells you exactly what any dialogue could do. Christopher Lee, the late great Christopher Lee, is just so incredibly expressive. A beautiful score with perfect musical cues highlight a superbly acted 50s gem, including the great Peter Cushing. Director Terence Fisher and writer Jimmy Sangster brings their vision of Bram Stoker to life, and honestly I feel like it surpasses the Bela Lugosi original. A+. Invasion of the Blood Farmers, 1972. Farmers that seem like vampires but are actually druids are draining the blood from people to pump into their dead queen. Why is she dead? We don't know. We are never told. We just know that she's dead. Blood is reproducing on its own, and the best explanation we were given is magic, because, druids. There's a humorous moment of a guy yelling, "Whoopee!" as he's about to have sex. So, honestly, watching that moment is worth watching the movie. The sound quality is absolutely terrible. A lot of the time the dialogue does not match up with mouth movements, and the general sounds are like around the actors is just loud. The acting is terrible, and the overacting is to a point where it's just laughable. And it is pretty clear that some of the actors are reading off of cue cards. And even though one of these farmers does drink blood, they are not vampires. The dumb, ridiculous, and nonsensical story honestly would have been slightly better if they were vampires. The ending comes when Roy tells Don, "Don! The syringe!" Even though Roy has no idea that he has the syringe. He raises the syringe, and all the druids just fall and die. That's it. That's it. This movie just, there's way more questions than answers in this mess. F. Ringu, 1998. Despite being partially about the anxieties about the technology at the time, Ringu pulls you in with its story. Knowing what was mostly going to happen, having seen the 2002 American remake with Naomi Watts, that didn't change how the film made me feel. I still feel the anxiety and the fear that these characters were feeling once they saw the video. It's beautifully made, fantastically acted. Ringu is a Japanese horror done right. A. Thank you for watching Fatman Inc. Rapid Fire Horror. Leave a like if you enjoyed and a comment to discuss your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to see more reviews of horror movies new and old. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.